Brock, what was your perspective on a tough game for you guys?
Yeah, man. Obviously a good team, but I feel like, we just sort of similar as the last game in terms of you need to capitalize on third downs and some of those fourth and shorts. That's what comes to mind first. And then, once we get down to the red zone, like still finding a way to score touchdowns. And the field goals were great, yes, but I don't know. I just feel like, those turnover on downs were, spotting them good field position. Just feel like that was the theme of the game. Yeah.
Al said he was sort of telling you guys don't feel so down. Obviously, it hurts to lose this game, but he was proud of what happened. Can you get there at this moment, understand what this team kind of overcame?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're fresh out of a game, and our goal was obviously to come in here, win, and go to the NFC Championship game, and go from there. But obviously, when it just got taken away from us, and Kyle's talking to us just about the year, and you reflect a little bit, it does feel good just in terms of being reminded of like guys stepping up and the resiliency. Like the character and the heart of this team was unlike anything I've ever been a part of. And so I know a lot of guys were saying that. Kyle said it. Trent Williams, like everyone feels it, like the heart, man. And so for us, it does excite us in terms of we're going to regroup and get guys healthy and get back after it. And so we are excited for the future, but obviously right now it just sucks because the loss is fresh in our mouth.
Brock, this offense is when it's humming, it's rhythm and timing. And today, there was so much of you running around, kind of playground, type stuff. Is that just a testament to their pressure and what they can do to kind of get you guys out of, what you do best?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret in terms of, their style of play. It's, try to make the quarterback check it down and play deep to short, and then within that have a good pass rush. And, that's a good defense, man. Like, just a smart way to play, and then bring some pressures and stuff also and try to make them mess up. So they did a good job with that. I do think there were still some ops for us to stay on the field and grit it out. Those are kind of the wins that we've done in the past too. But, tonight just wasn't our night with that. So, it's a tip the cap to them though.
They have a good defense. Obviously, you have a good offense, but the last few times you've faced them, you haven't scored that many points. Why do you feel like they have your number right now, your offense?
Probably just what I just said, just in terms of, you really do have to play smart football, check the ball down, and stay on the field on third downs. They're a kind of defense that they're not going to give up the big shot plays or when you have one-on-one matchups, and you capitalize, you get all the yards off it. Like, they're going to play soft zone and make you go through your read, check it down, and a gain of 6-7 yards and play that really the whole game. And so, they've done a good job with that. And I think, for all of us, like including myself, we got to understand that when we're going against these guys, and that's why it's crucial to, capitalize on third downs and stay on the field.
You look pretty frustrated after the interception. I know you don't want to maybe single out a teammate, but were you a little upset about just the way that happened?
Yeah, I mean, we're off schedule, and I'm at that point, I'm just trying to figure out which way Luke was going to go, and honestly, I shouldn't have thrown it. So that's not on him. He got put in a tough situation. If anything, throw the ball away, live to see another down. It's on me.
Did it seem like sometimes tonight and in the whole season, basically, that you would go into games with or wind up with no receivers, either receivers gone or injured or compromised?
Sorry, what was your question?
Very few healthy receivers a lot of times.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, guys have done such a good job of stepping up, so I don't want to use that as an excuse at all. We got a really good receiver core, I think. DeMarcus Robinson's jumped up, Sky, Moore's, we got thrown him into the fire, and, JJ's a baller. Ricky's fighting his things, but when he's out there, he's doing great, so, I don't want to use that at all as an excuse.
You mentioned the future. Like, is this a team capable of winning the Super Bowl next season?
100%, yeah.
This obviously was a rough year for you with the toe, but after you came back in Week 11, you had great numbers. Is it safe to say that the toe you're beyond that, or are you still experiencing pain with the toe after you came back?
Yeah, no, I'm in a good spot with that. For me to go out and play the way I need to play, obviously the way I can run around, scramble and things, I don't think about. Obviously, I'm doing my rehab and stuff with it still, and I will in the off season. But I feel really good with that. So I'm good.
Why are you so confident this team can win a Super Bowl next season, given how the season ended?
I mean, I really do believe that, we have the right guys, man. Obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I really do think that with some guys getting healthy and what we stand for and how we always bounce back, I feel like our backs were against the wall really all season with guys going down, but we always found a way. And so I think once we're, 100% and feel good about ourselves and learn, then we'll be just fine. So, yeah.
Sorry, your first drop back, DeMarcus Lawrence smashed you pretty good. Your last drop back, he got you again. How big of a handful is he? And, how can you kind of wreck a game plan? But
No, yeah, really good player, obviously. Same with 99 Williams. Like they got a good front. So across the board, like they got guys that are gonna not make it easy. And if one guy doesn't win, then the other guy might. So like it's a good defensive front. It's a good scheme that they have behind them as well. So just across the board, man, they got good playmakers and it's a good defense.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Christian should be.
Kyle said he obviously knows you're all hurt and everybody's hurt, but he was trying to make it, there were positives because what was achieved this season, given everything else that happened. Can you get there? Can you start to feel that right now, or is it still just a loss?
Yeah, man, I mean, it's such a weird, emotional roller coaster you go through. Everything you've gone through with this team for what it feels like, 25 weeks in a row. And then to just end it, I think it takes time to process everything. Because it just comes to an end. What I will say is this is, in all my years playing, one of the proudest I've ever been to be a part of a team. And it's this team, and I love everybody in that locker room.
Christian, given all the stuff you guys had to go through, the injuries and whatnot, I know it's probably his first time happening to me, but how do you process just the fact that you've got this far, with the amount of guys you're going to replace, stars?
Yeah, I think just you process it with time. Obviously it wasn't our day, man. I mean, we didn't play good enough to win, and obviously that stings and that hurts right now. But I think with time, you learn to appreciate everything that happened this season and all the people that made it happen. And again, I feel very fortunate to be a part of this football team.
Christian, you guys have been banging heads since July. How much time do you give yourself away from training before you get back into your off-season grind?
I don't know, man. Probably a couple weeks, and I haven't thought about that yet.
When did the stinger occur?
Pretty, a couple early, and then just kind of kept getting worse, and to check out what it is. But gave it everything I had, and just wasn't working.
You were out on the second snap. I mean, did it happen that early? Like
No.
First play?
No.
Christian, Kyle said that your season this year is one of the single most impressive individual performances he's seen, just in the workload that you took on. How much did this season mean for you to come back from what you did and be able to play a whole season and do what you were able to?
Yeah, I think I'll again, just once takes time to process this stuff. This was one of the hardest years of my life, and everything that happened to me last year, and kind of had to overcome a lot of odds. And from the time January 1st happened, I was rehabbing and working my butt off every single day. My wife went through it. There was not a lot of time off, and so again, I think it's obviously we're not proud of the way it ended, but when I look back at all the people that helped me out and the people that were with me every step of the way and believed in me when a lot of people didn't, I appreciate that, and just really grateful for my family, my friends, and everybody in that locker room. But again, it's just hard to process everything right now. Right now, it just sucks to lose, but go hang out with those guys on the plane and process it how we will.
Christian, can you just share how challenging it was for you physically to be ready to play week to week? Because I know in the beginning of the season, a lot of us were wondering, are you going to be ready for game one? And here you are at the end of the season, stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, every year, every week presents different challenges, some harder than others. But at the end of the day, man, we're all going through stuff. Everybody in there's fighting. Having 3 short weeks in the last 4 weeks has not been easy. But, we got a group of grinders who will go out there and fight whenever.
How proud are you of the young members of this team that weren't necessarily ready to start at the beginning of the season?
Really proud of him. Really proud of him and excited to watch him in the future because, there's extreme upside to, to get that experience as a young player, and this team is extremely valuable. So proud of every single one of them, and, love them.
All right, thanks, Christian.
Thanks, guys.
Mentioned that you were telling the team, or maybe a lot of people, just how proud you were of this team, the fight. Was that to the whole team? Or?
Yeah, well, everybody's in the locker room.
You could just maybe just speak about that. Like, was this season special to you?
Yeah, it was extremely special to me just because I've never been a part of a program, part of a team that so behind the 8 ball, but just found a way to compete every week. We went up against so many rosters that was fully loaded while we were playing with guys that we got, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Some guys signed at the beginning of the season, some guys signed in the middle of the season. So the fact that we were able to get to this part of the season, divisional round and the playoffs, and give ourselves a chance to get in the NFC Championship, and we're extremely shorthanded. So I'm just proud of this team, man. Like Christian just said, we had a lot of young guys that contributed a lot to our success, and they have really, really bright futures. So I'm super proud of this team. Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted to, but the future is really bright.
After
And
getting
what's
this
that say
far,
about what Kyle did this year?
Coach of the year in my opinion. And not y'all see what he does on game days, but what he does during the week, the message he conveys to the team every week, the way we prepare, the way he has guys bought in to just give them their all, no matter what the scoreboard look like, no matter what, guys just playing their butts off. So a lot of that goes towards Cal because he's obviously the leader of this team, but it all starts and stops with him, and he definitely does a great job getting us started.
Trent, you've seen a lot of defenses in your career. Do the Seahawks and the way their style, the way they play, what they do, remind you of other great defenses in the NFL?
No. We played some great defenses throughout the year. So no, I don't think. What D'Amico's doing down in Houston is pretty impressive. So, hats off to Seattle. It's a good defense. They play two-shell. They just make you have to just dink and dunk down the field. Keep everything in front of them. It's a good game plan.
Trent, after all the things you guys did to this persevere to get to this point you're referring to, what did it feel like tonight as it was kind of crashing down? It almost seemed like you couldn't hold the fort anymore collectively as a group. What was that? What did it feel like?
Man, I just feel like you're losing the game. We had obviously we went down early. To me, I think that's the biggest thing. You get a kickoff return touchdown. It's hard to win when you give up turnovers and special team touchdowns, and we did both. So it's no surprise why the game ended how it ended. Not in my opinion. Obviously, we wanted more out of this. It just wasn't our night tonight. And you got to be honest with yourself. And we got, like I said before, we got a lot of kids on this team that contributed a lot this year, and we're going to be looking forward to them contributing, in the future. And I think a lot of them will be household names here pretty soon. So, I'm super excited for what we have in this group, the future that we have. And, obviously tonight sucks, but it's not the end for us.
Trent, on that same note, before the season, you said you weren't really sure what this team was going to be. You
Right.
didn't know. What did this team become, and where do you think it can go?
It became a resilient bunch. We're the final 4 teams, on this side of the bracket. So I think that speaks for itself, being able to go in and knock off the, defending world champs at their home. Another tough game versus another great defense. And, we made the plays. And tonight we just didn't make the plays. So it's nothing to hang your head over. Obviously nobody thought we would even be here, let alone thought we would win this game. So, at the end of the day, we're playing with house's money when you get to this point, playing with who we played with.
I know you don't like Super Bowl window talk and all that, but does it feel more reachable where you stand right now than maybe you would have thought at, at the beginning of the season?
I never thought it was out of reach, honestly. But yeah, once the injuries start happening, I'm gonna take that back. It does seem pretty. The hopes seem pretty grim, but as we continue to play, and then I started to learn this team, and we all started to learn each other, and you start to realize, like, hey, we have a real shot. Obviously, in my opinion, there was no team that was just clear-cut number one throughout the whole season. So I just think it was wide open, and I think a lot of people thought like me, and that's why a lot of people tried to fight, until they couldn't fight anymore.
What's it going to take to break through? When I talk to the young guys, a lot of them kind of mention they look up to you and just all you've done and how you carried yourself through the NFL all these years. Obviously, you said you're impressed by them, but what impresses you the most, especially with this rookie class, with what they've been able to do this season?
Just because they have huge roles, right? You look at guys like Stout. You look at guys like Siegel. You look at AC, Aaron Collins. You look at DJ. Obviously, even Michael played. He was a starter before he went down. You get on the offensive side of the ball. We had Connor Colby in there playing early. He did a lot for us. So those guys with their expanded role, they did great. And obviously, we won 13 games. So I think that's kind of tells it all right there. But they just give you a lot of hope, man. They came in, they bought into the culture, and they, the way they play, the way they approach every day, just, we're lucky to have a rookie class that can contribute like they did.
What's it going to take to break through against this Seahawks defense? You got to face them twice every year, and it seems like they have your number right now.
Ain't gonna take shit. We ain't got, we down to all the best tight end in the world, right? It's a lot of things that we're up against, not just Seattle. So, we split the game. They won one. During the season, we came down here with a healthy team and we won. I think that's what we can be. Obviously, when you're playing with guys that you signing out practice squads, guys that's, you taking off the street. You got to temper your expectations a little bit, So.
You'll be 38 next year. I know that's not news to you. But I believe you've already stated, maybe after the Colts game, there's no question about your future. You're coming back. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Thank you.